Hey, this is Brad Gill, NextHome Lifestyles. Welcome back to another market snapshot for the city of San Jose, this time for the week of March the 7th, 2022. Let's start out with our active and pending numbers. Currently in the city of San Jose, we have 457 houses, townhouses, and condominiums on the market currently active for sale. In addition, we currently have 743 that have a current pending contract. In other words, a buyer has submitted an offer that the seller has accepted. So those properties are now under contract of sale. With that being said, we're still definitely in a seller's market as we have more pending sales than what's available on the market to purchase. And that would mean that we have an absorption rate which is less than 30 days. So again, continued expectancy would be if you're a buyer or looking in the market, continue to see multiple offers. And if you're a seller, you should probably do pretty good as long as you remember to price right, because we do have some properties that are surprisingly failing to sell. We'll get to those in a minute. Inventory trends. What should we expect as we look forward? This time of year, we should be climbing in inventory. And for buyers out there, we want to see more inventory come to the market. So the good news for you is we actually had 307 units come to the market over the last 7 days. Also to note, compared to last week, we were actually down in inventory with 278 units. So it was nice again to see the uptick this past week. And pending sales are up slightly from last week as well. The current trends are on track for the season or this time of year as we're moving out of the winter market and into the spring selling season. More listings coming to the market and more buying activity. Moving on to market expectations, this is where we take a look and see if there's any properties that fail to sell and price changes. So over the last week, we actually had 30 properties that came off the market. That's up slightly from last week where we had 23. We also had 25 price changes, up slightly from last week at 23. So again, this doesn't necessarily mean that there were no buyers interested in these properties. It could also mean that a seller listed their house for sale, but withdrew it from the market because they needed to make some repairs or something to it. But I'm sure there are some properties out there where if you're not pricing correctly, you could stand the opportunity of having an issue selling it. Otherwise, to note this week, the 30-year fixed mortgage rate did drop. So we're down to 3.76%, slightly down from last week, which was at 3.89%, but that is down almost 0.25% from where we were a few weeks ago. So if we're running a payment on $1 million, you're looking at about $4,600 a month. We are up from last year, year over year, pretty significantly, but it does not seem to be curbing our current appetite for demand for housing. If you guys like what you see and you want to stay up on the trends and stay current, be sure to tune in next week. We'll have another market snapshot coming to you. Otherwise, I'm Brad Gill, NextHome Lifestyles, and thanks for tuning in this week.